Jesus goes back to his native town, and the people there think that they know who he is. And they're amazed at all the news that they get about him, curing the sick, casting out demons. And this is the problem. They think that they know him. And in fact, they don't. To this point, the only element that gets Jesus right are the demons and the unclean spirits. They say, "We know who you are. You are the Christ. You are the Son of God." And his townspeople and people who knew him since he was a little boy think that they know him and all about him. That somehow this is, that by knowing who he is, that they will have control over him. And that is not the case. There's a wonderful theologian, Mark Timothy Johnson, who wrote an article or a book, I can't remember, but the title was Getting Jesus Right. And isn't that what we all attempt to do? To get Jesus right. Indeed, he was infleshed. So he was human, and we can get to know his humanity, and indeed we should. But he was also divine. And we have to take into account that when he speaks to us as the Godhead. The townsfolk who come to hear him and who have heard all these things, think of his human origin, but they miss his divinity. We have to hold those two together. To get Jesus right as the Son of Mary, to get Jesus right as the Son of God. When he speaks to us with the force and the power of God's word. And when we see him in the flesh and hear of the suffering that he had, he shared our flesh. He knows what suffering is. He knows what it's like to see somebody ill or suffering and reach out to them and try to help them in any way that he could. To get Jesus right, it's the task of a life of faith. How can we do that? Obviously, our families of origin and putting us on the right path. The community in which we worship. The friends that we have. I give thanks to God for my family who made sacrifices to bring me up in the faith, to allow me to have a Catholic school education. I give thanks to God for, the family members who gave such good example and such good advice. And to my friends, who were indeed good friends, giving me good example to try to get Jesus right, to allow him to, be the Lord of my life, to put me on the right path that I might be able to make the right decisions, to serve, to love, and to forgive. It is the task of discipleship to get Jesus right.